we are asking is why we have 6 reams of paper before the Senate, while these 6 reams of paper were supposed to have been presented to the Auditor General at the time of audit.
Marsabit County has had several problems, as you very well know. We have had a lot of clashes. People are not working. Offices were being closed. In fact, sometime in 2021, towards the end and early 2022, Marsabit County was not functioning, Mr. Chairman. But that said,
but money was being spent.
It's back and sorry.
But money was being spent. There is evidence here that money was being spent. 8 billion shillings was being spent. So you proceed with your thesis.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman. I think what I want to say is good that we understand each other. If we are going to have a very harsh position from the beginning, right? We may not make a good
point of order. I'm not going to direct us how to proceed. There was a very simple question by Senator Sifuna. It has not been addressed. What we have received are histrionics and diversionary statements. And I don't think we'll be able to proceed with the audit if we cannot get that answer, because we are dealing with an adverse audit opinion, which in the words of the Auditor General means that the financial statements do not present fairly in all material respects the financial position of the county executive of Marsabit. Out of 47 county executives in that financial year, I think only about 6 county executives had an adverse opinion. And we take great interest in those 6. So just deal with the question framed by Senator Sifuna without diversionary statements.
Yeah, can I add?
Senator Dulo?
Yeah, maybe for you, Governor, when you have an adverse opinion, it majorly touches on the production of the documents. So I think that is maybe where there's a problem, and that is why members are asking why the documents were not there at the initial stage. I think I just wanted to add that bit.
Okay,
Chair, just 1 minute before you go back to the Governor. Okay, you see, Your Excellency, the point I'm demonstrating here, it's a very basic point.
Yeah.
The document you have presented, for instance, is an LPO here. This LPO is dated 2020. My question is, this LPO was there in the county.
Why wasn't it present?
Your position is that because there were upheavals, I don't know if there were floods, I don't know whatever it was. That explanation is what you're supposed to give the committee, because it cannot be the job of the Senate to be seeing these documents now. Chair, some of these documents are not even remotely legible. We are not going to sit here to do something that should have been done before. Your Excellency, I am also an accounting officer at ODM. I am audited. I have had 15 straight clean audit reports. We know the audit process. If there is a document that has not been presented, you are asked within a matter of weeks to present the document. It is not fair for you to come with documents 3 years down the line and then you want to claim that we are being harsh. Is it really fair?
Thank you very much, Senator. I think what I want to say, Chairman, is that first of all, the issue about the adverse. I am equally very disappointed with my team, and we've talked about it at length. I have not taken it lightly. But that aside, as to why the documents were delayed, my understanding was when the team conducts, the auditors conduct their audit, and some things are not available, they will normally request the county team to provide those documentation at a given time. I did not ask this question to the team because I didn't know that I'm required to answer that. However, that period, we had a lot of problems in the county. Many times, offices get closed. So, and this is a national news, which everybody knows. We had a lot of chaos. The county assembly was not functioning. My office was not functioning sometimes, most of the time in 2021. So I agree that it has taken a lot of time, but it was not out of our making, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Onyonka.
Your Excellency, Governor, I would like to inform you that before we come and sit here, we always go through these reports. We've been doing it since 7 o'clock in the morning. And the question we are asking you was not asked to you. Initially, it was asked to the Auditor General. So let me ask the Auditor General to tell you what they told us. Are you with me? Yes. AOG, can you tell us why these documents came in late?
Chair, the team, during the time of audit, the documents were not presented to us for audit verification, but from 20th March this year, the documents were submitted to us.
So naturally, what assumption would you make as an officer who's doing an audit? On a fair scale, what would you assume is the reason why the documents were delayed to be brought? Was it because of sloppiness? Was it because there was no communication? Was it because there was no information on the management meeting that you held the first time and the exit meetings? Those issues were never discussed. Or did you discuss and the document didn't appear until March?
Yeah, sometimes one of the assumptions we make is that probably when they receive a letter from the Senate, they take it more seriously than when we are demanding for the same.
How many meetings did you arrange, exit meetings? And you need to be coming with that correspondence before us. Because Auditor General, if indeed, Chair, if indeed this Appendix 1.1, this is how thick Appendix 1.1 is responding to a single query of 9 million shillings. As a senator, am I really expected to go through these documents to see that that answer has been satisfactorily responded to? This is 2 reams of paper times all these copies, when they would have just given you the original documents. Can you give us a schedule of the meetings you had with regard to this particular year? How many exit meetings do you have?
For this particular year we are discussing?
Yes.
Chair, like in any other audit, we have the entry meeting, then we have the exit meeting. But in between, as the issues arise, we send what we call an audit query. That is, as the team gets the issues, they submit audit query in written form to tell them the issues that require to be addressed.
Yeah, so the governor is saying he has not asked his team.
Yes.
So we will leave him out, at least for you.
Yes.
Because you are the counterpart, you are the other party in this discussion.
Yes.
How many meetings have you scheduled with or how many times have you requested for these documents?
Before the report comes out, the requests are several, at the audit query level, at the management letter level, at the draft audit
report. So you confirm these issues were in the management letter?
Yes, Chair. They were there.
So through you, Chair. Just a minute on the point you had raised. So if you received these 6 reams on 20th of March, that was a Thursday. So between Thursday last week and Wednesday this week, you've been able to go through these 6 reams of paper.
Chair, we received them when there was some of my teams were in Marsabit undertaking a CDF audit. So we directed that they verify what they can on the ground. The rest we could do desktop verification, Chair.
How many physical meetings have you had with the team from Marsabit with regards to these supporting annexures?
With my team?
Yes, between your team and the team from Marsabit. Did you have any physical meeting, or you just, you know, when they submitted these, the written responses,
yes.
Did you have any physical meeting to go through the responses before today?
Yeah, they had a meeting with my team that was on the ground, Chair.
How many?
One.
Just one meeting?
Yes.
Auditor, do you know if the documents that were presented in Marsabit were originals or the same copies that are before us? Were they originals?
Chair, I've not had my team raise issues that they were not original, but I needed to confirm that before I get back to you.
It's the reason I'm asking that question. Were they originals or were they these same copies before me? Because I want you to read a document for me here, if you can read it.
Chair, I need to confirm from my team if what they saw was actually original.
Senator Sifuna, are you...
Chair, I'm a bit concerned because if the Auditor General got the very same documents we have, there is no way you can tell me you read these documents. The documents themselves are not legible. Governor, this is your own bundle. Unfortunately, you didn't write page numbers. I would have referred you to the document before me, but the clerk can bring you this document. You tell me if you can read anything from the document.
Mr. Chairman, the originals are available and can be tabled if they are not legible. I'm sorry.
Let's take the page two.
Let me, as that happens, let me allow Senator Cherargei and Senator Chute to go on record.
Good morning. My name is Mohammed Said Chute, Senator from Marsabit, friend of this committee.
Okay, please make sure Senator Chute has the 6 reams of annexures also.
Chair, good morning. Cherargei Kiprotich is my name, the vice chairperson of this committee. Chair, I think the tradition of this committee has been, if the auditor has not verified and there is late submission of documentation, we are wasting time. We should adjourn and do other things and give the client time to look at. Because in as much as we go, the eye that normally gives us opportunities is the Office of the Auditor General. And Governor and your team, this should be your last. But the law says, having been the end of an audit progress or audit process is in Senate or in Parliament, having considered your mitigation. So I don't think, because it looks like the auditor has not gone through, and I can see it's humongous bundles of reams, and yet, you know, and I know Senator Sifuna was trying to find out, when you have cited the original, you say, I certify as a true copy of original. So if original document has not been cited, it can be easily cooked or manipulated. So, Chair, I think the more we go into it, the more it does not make sense. Because as they say, other things can lie but numbers. So I think, Chair, as the tradition and president of this committee, you and me and Senator Dulo, we have sat in this committee for almost a decade now. And tradition establishes a parliament, and the governor is a former parliamentarian. So it's better we give time to the auditor and these other gentlemen to look at it, and then we come back. We are always available when need be, even when during recess. I thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Senator Cherargei. Senator Sifuna, what were you trying to demonstrate?
I wanted the governor to confirm whether he can read anything on that document, because it's what he has submitted to me. Personally, I cannot see what that document is about.
Mr. Chairman, I was saying the original is available and it can be availed.
Of what use will that be to the committee now that it is part of the bundle? Because I'm sure you brought this for us to consider your responses. So if they are ineligible, if they're not legible, how do you?
It's unfortunate, Mr. Chairman. The documents, as you've said already, are many, and human error like this can happen, and I apologize for that.
So, Governor, back to my contention when we began, was this is a process of verification of documents. Now that you have given me a document I can't read, can we go back to that conversation about why those original documents were not presented to the...
Mr. Chairman, you know, it's a process. When the auditors finish their work, there is management response. We give management response. This other one now, after a follow-up query like this is the only forum where these documents will be...
That is agreed.
Negative.
No,
point of order, Chair.
Senator Sifuna, that cannot be... I think I heard you talk of objective facts. That cannot be an objective
Let me just finish, Chair. We asked you for documents. You said there have been all these issues in Marsabit. Then you bring me a document I cannot read. Are you still going to accuse me of imputing ill motive if I say that you did not want me to see what is written on this document? Because you have presented a document I cannot read.
Sir Chairman,
after 3 years.
Out of all the many documents, this is one page, and maybe so
we remove this one.
No, it's unfortunate. I have already gone on record and apologized for the unfortunate error. Unfortunately, you cannot dismiss all my work just because of one page, Mr. Chairman.
Your Excellency, you can't decide that for us. Okay. You know the standing orders.
Fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
Now, we appear to have a county entity that does not understand the Public Audit Act. And we must dispel this notion that after the audit, there is another window or another meeting where the governor and the auditor general are supposed to discuss issues. And Patrick, I want you to, because part of the reasons why we have these sessions is not just to be adversaries, but also to be advisors. I've heard the governor repeatedly say that after the audit, there was supposed to be another meeting. We must make that very clear, that there is no other meeting under a tree between an auditor and a governor, having been given 1 month to, not even 1 month, having been given 3 months. You are given 3 months to prepare your financial statements, from 30th of June all the way to 30th of September. Is that true? There seems to be, because Marsabit, you must operate under the same PFM Act, under the same Public Audit Act. OAG, can you clearly lay out those steps so that whatever the governor is saying, when we say it cannot go on record, it is on the basis of the law?
Chair, as he does that, you will allow me to pluck 3 more pages so that the governor does not accuse me of things. This is another page from your document, Governor. This is the second one. I want to do another one. These are documents you presented before me this morning. This is another one. In all honesty, before God, you have taken an oath. What am I supposed to make of this? This is just a sample from one of these bundles. You put these things before us to read them. All these documents are from your office, Governor. It is not me.
Order, Governor. Senator Sifuna is making a point, and you do not have to respond to every point. Otherwise, we will not make progress. And I think you must take this as an exercise where we are advising you. You cannot claim to be an exemplary student because you have come here with an adverse opinion. So there is some education that has to be done. Despite your parliamentary experience, despite your professional experience, but not all of us can be experts in the Public Audit Act and the processes. So I want you to be humble enough to listen to these senators, to listen to the OAG, and see what is expected of you, because that will save you in future from getting an adverse opinion. And an adverse opinion is not just an adverse opinion. It means loss of funds. They are conditional grants which you cannot get if you have an adverse opinion. And we'll be demonstrating to you as we go ahead that because of this opinion, the people of Marsabit have lost millions in form of Kenya Revolution Support Program. So it is not a casual thing. So I want you to relax, take a deep breath, and be ready to learn from the Senate and the OAG. It might help you in future. We are not in a defense and offense situation. Senator Dulo, before I ask the Auditor General to outline the audit process, and then we see whether we can make progress.
I just wanted to clarify from OAG whether they have managed to go through all these documents before presented to us.
I had asked that question earlier, and Meshach, what did you answer?
In my briefs, I said that certain issues need physical...
Is it only projects, Chair, or the other documentation that are within the audit?
Actually, it touched on several issues, not just projects.
So does that mean you are not ready to proceed, or you are ready to proceed? Because you cannot be half-half.
We are ready to proceed because on quite a number